Hi, this is Ben Shaw with Focus Camera, and we're reviewing the new Nikon D810. It's said to be the world's highest image quality DSLR, and I like it. The D810 is ergonomically great. It's a real camera, needless to say. All of the buttons are in expected places. Image quality is amazing. Of course, you have full range of ability to change anything that you want. It's lighter than its predecessor, and it being a Nikon, it takes every lens ever made by Nikon since before you were born, in the 70s. So technically, studio photographers will be happy to know that this camera has wireless flash slave capability, which means that you don't necessarily need to go out and buy a slave unit. The grip is really great. I'm sure it has the extensions for vertical and horizontal shooting. Again, all of your in and output ports, and of course, straight to video. Nikons are a little bit loud on the whole, compared to the silent mode in Canon, but within this particularly new camera is a new silent mode, which is pretty quiet. So the predecessor of the D810 was high in resolution, but kind of on the slow side. Nikon have done a great deal to increase the performance overall. As I mentioned before, it's lighter. It now has a greater resolution and increased sharpness, and it's faster. It has 5 frames per second as opposed to its predecessor, which was only 4. With the booster, it goes up to 7 as opposed to 6 frames per second. The D810 has the D4's autofocus capability with higher performance and resolution. The autofocus is really dope. Really great, really fast, really sharp, really sensitive. As I mentioned earlier, everything's intuitive. I did not read the manual on this. It's a real camera. I love it. I could even be a Nikon convert today. Good. So the low light capabilities of the D810 increase up from its predecessor, the D800. Low light was great already. These guys have gone up even further. We can now go up to 5100 plus ISO. So, you know, hey, let's go to Pluto. So I just made a short video with the D810, very impressive on-camera adjustments while I filmed. Also impressed by the stereo microphone, which picked up great sound.
I gotta get you one of those viewfinders, dude.
It has a time-lapse mode, which allows us to photograph presumably remotely from once every second up to once every half hour. So, you know, if you've got to go out and make sure that the kids don't do anything wrong, set your 810. Manually, which is the way I like to use cameras, it operates exactly as all manual cameras should. It obeys my command. There really isn't anything I don't like about this camera. I'm not a Nikon shooter, but as previously mentioned in the video, I could very easily convert. There's really, you know, it meets every professional level that I need. Physically, the camera is beautiful. I really do think it's beautiful. It's very compact, very strong. I believe it has an alloy body, which means it's weatherproof. Oh, it takes CF and SD cards, both of which I think are valuable. It's a formidable camera. Another thing that I didn't mention, but I think bears mentioning, is that you have 100% view when you look through the viewfinder. A lot of cameras don't have that anymore. And I think that that's really important, that you see entirely what your frame, what you anticipate shooting, so that you can edit down afterwards. You should always be able to see exactly what you're shooting. So this camera is definitely geared towards the professional, but I'd like to say that it's also incredibly capable and comfortable for a high professional amateur. Overall, I love it. I think that it's a phenomenal camera, and I would certainly anticipate using one. It's a professional's camera available to everybody. And this is Ben Shull signing out for Focus Cameras. Come see my work at benshull.com. And see you next time. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to all of the feeds.